Well, what's up, Advice, YouTube, Internet, whoever? I know it's been a long time, but here is Sotyfan16 Says report number 2. And this one is on live action adaptations. I posted a long time ago. Didn't get any questions on it and whatnot, so I'm just going to kind of jibber jabber for a little bit on it, and that'll be my time. And then I'll give you guys another topic to maybe give me questions about. So, basically with this one, I mean, obviously there have been numerous attempts, or I mean, actually there have been a lot of live action adaptations made in Japan and Korea and China, but I haven't really seen many. So of theirs, I watched a couple. What did I watch? Like a few months ago, I watched Shamo, which is a really interesting martial arts manga that has went through I think it's on like its second hiatus, and the authors are having legal trouble and problems and things like that. So it's been really stressful because like I found it and then I read every chapter that was out, and then boom, there was like a 2-year hiatus, and then I went back like 6 months ago and oh my gosh, there were a few more chapters. So I read a few more chapters and then it's like, oh, now there's more problems. Shit. But the live action movie, which is Chinese, they made it. It was Chinese. It was all right. Didn't fully bring out the same feel as the manga. I mean that's understandable, but just didn't quite float everything with me. I'd still prefer the manga for that. But hey, props for trying. I'm actually excited that they did try, especially something like Shamo. It's definitely different, pretty adult, and it's just it's martial arts. I mean, but who can't how can you go wrong with a martial arts movie? Duh. I mean, shit's awesome. It even looks cool in manga, and that's a lot of flowing action. So definitely interesting, especially since the manga isn't all that detailed. But let's see. And I mean, there are a lot. I can't even like name all these live action adaptations. That's just for regular stuff. Not even live action adaptations of hentai. Made into live action porn. That's even another thing. There, and probably even more adaptations get made of that than of just regular anime. But I guess Shinobi, that's based on Basilisk. I have not watched it yet. It's on my Netflix instant queue to watch at some point, and so I'm sure I will watch that at some point. So that way I can, whenever I get around to making a guide on the franchise, I will be able to include a little bit about the movie as well. And like I say, there's a lot more that I just don't know because I haven't watched them. But of course, I mean, there's the Death Note ones too, which I actually still have not watched because I hear they just kind of suck. I mean, I don't know. I guess like the characters for how the characters are works, and they got that, like the actors got that down packed, but not so much some other things. And then of course you got the Gantz movie, and they're working on Spaceship Yamato and some others and whatnot, and so. Not exactly sure how I feel on the. I mean, the Gaunt's one actually does look pretty damn cool. Didn't really get into the anime, so. And then, of course, I think what kind of hurts foreign adaptations is if, like it was with Death Note, what the hell was up with the like basically claymation looking, Shinigami. I mean, they looked weird and like creepy, but not in like a stylish way. So I mean, so it just kind of gets me that some of these foreign markets is, I mean, even especially the Japanese market, it's like you're so up in technology and everything, but then your special effects kind of just not up to par. But I guess you don't really worry about that. So hey. And I kind of think that maybe that's even another reason why, hey, Hollywood wants to do this so that way we can just make our special effects do everything for us. Yay. But no, and of course, I cannot do this segment without mentioning the deplorable and awful and shouldn't even exist Dragon Ball Evolution. I mean, no. Spent thereabouts of $40 million on the budget. I think I could. I'm just a regular fan, don't know shit about movie making, but I kind of firmly stand by whenever I say it, and I've said it multiple times, that if you give me double the budget that it had, I would make it a 10 times better movie. And it still may not be like a great movie, but at least it would follow shit correctly. I mean, even the story was all fucked up. I mean, the Ozaru never worked with Piccolo, and Piccolo never had disciple helper person, and I realize, they tried to make it, adaptable for a U.S. audience, and having Goku being this teenager that's in love, and with this other girl that's not Chi-Chi, and he's in high school, and he's got problems, and he's bullied, and he's told not to fight, and then all of a sudden the Dragon Ball, and the legend of it's all dropped on him and stuff, and it's like, yeah, we're just gonna... Dad just fuck shit up. And that's exactly what all the movie makers did. And it's really disappointing. I mean, it's just an awful, awful movie. I am kind of upset that I actually watched it. I've seen it like 3 times. But one of the times, and actually, I'm pretty sure I paid to go see it in theaters. And it was just a giant facepalm the entire movie. But one of the times I did watch it, I did it to kind of help fill out the AV Wiki, so yeah. But yeah, just all sorts of problems with that one, and I mean, the only thing basically that movie got right was character mannerisms, and they didn't even get all of them right. I mean, the only ones they got right was Roshi, a little, some of Bulma, and Yamcha, some of Yamcha, but that is about it. I mean, I guess you could sort of say Piccolo, the original Piccolo when he was, evil and shit. But yeah, I mean, even the special effects for Kai Blast and everything was awful. I wish they would have actually taken the time to do it like Avatar did. That Avatar's airbending, or the last Avatar, or the last Airbender. The Avatar live action by Shyamalan, dude did fucked up. I mean, those special effects for the bending actually was pretty cool on that one. I can't believe, that they went so cheapy and crap in Dragon Ball Evolution. But I know it's not, technically anime or, but a lot of, anime people enjoy Avatar, the animated 3-season one. And, of course, we got Legend of Korra here now. But the live-action one was horrible. And my dad bought it without seeing it. I guess, it was on sale, and he bought it without seeing it. And I was like, dude, take that back right now. You should not have bought that. It's awful. But the only thing good about it is some of the special effects. And yeah, other than that, it's just entirely ruined. And he didn't do it, and then it became too late because it was past, the return policy. And I was like, great, now we own a piece of shit, Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, whatever. He's like, whoa. Facepalm. Let's see. Oh, but then we have all the rumors and shit going around of, oh hey, Akira, and we've heard just a ungodly amount of rumors even in the past year and a half, even 6 months, of all these rumors of, oh, budget changes and director changes and writer changes and potential actor and actress changes and shit. So it's like, so really until I'm still in the middle ground of whether or not I want to see it made or do I not want to see it made. I'm not exactly sure. It's in that weird gray area for me right now. And until solid news actually comes up that whether it is or isn't being made, my opinions start to form more so. And mostly what I'm concerned about is not how it's going to look, because the U.S. does a pretty good job of making shit look cool. And I'm sure Akira, would be no exception, depending on the budget. But it's the story. I mean, I realize, there's a number of ways, and exceptions and everything as far as adaptation goes. But, I mean, yeah, there's got to be a limit. There's got to be a limit to how you can do shit. Come on. You got to stick to material. And so, yeah, I'm just waiting for actual real stuff to come out. And, if it gets into production, then by the time I start seeing production stuff or like a trailer, then I would really super, pick which side of the fence I'm going to be on. And then, of course, Death Note, which actually, Death Note would be a very simple concept to translate to a U.S. and other worldwide market. Because all you would have to do is basically, okay, you want to change some of the names, fine. As far as, an adaptation goes, you can change the names, because as long as you have the characteristics and the character manner and everything else the same, then great. You cannot get rid of the Shinigami. Yeah, that doesn't translate well to, an understanding in the U.S. audience, but you gotta think of also who is gonna be your fucking audience. The people who already know the shit. So, yeah. So, really they don't need to worry about cutting out the actual Death Note part or the Shinigami part. Leave that shit in there. The supernatural stuff is not gonna hurt it, because, we already have shows on TV that have new supernatural shit from different countries and everything. So, just fucking do it. And that's really, basically the only thing that actually needs to change if they're going to make a live-action adaptation of Death Note is the setting. Just set it out and just, all you got to do is change it to a setting in, like, L.A. or Chicago or, just any sort of bigger city. And that's all you got to do. Just change the setting. You can change, you can change the names if you want, but that's still not even necessary, if need be. Really, the setting is the only thing that needs to be changed, and then boom, keep just about everything the same, and you're pretty well set, and you have yourself a live-action adaptation of Death Note. Of course, with how much is in the series and how people were upset that there was only 2 movies out in Japan, they might want to divide it up into a trilogy in order to keep better to the source material, and and maybe even make it like darker. And and everything. So it could definitely be done. Death Note could definitely be done, but we'll see what kind of news comes up on that. And then for super way bygone, rumor report, all that stuff, Evangelion movies. Yeah, you don't hear anybody talking about that shit, but it used to be a thing. Way back, I'm not sure when, it used to be a thing, and it really fell apart because they were thinking about making it much like these rebuilds into like a 4-part movie series live action thing, and I don't know exactly. The acting can be done and shit, but it's so much. I don't know. It's really a big mindfuck. But then if you get if you could somehow bring in like someone like Scorsese to like work his magic on the mindfuckness of the script, then shit like that would work. You could get that to work. And then all you'd have to do is worry about the giant EVA units and all the action and shit, and of course special effects would tear the fuck out of that. So it's another thing that's possible, but I don't know if it should be done. I don't know my feelings on it, because the rumor mill on Evangelion live action has been dead for a long time, especially as far as the movie industry goes. A long time could be a year, but this has been, I haven't seen anything on it for multiple years. So that's kind of what I got. I definitely ran a little longer on this one than what I originally planned. But there you go. That's my thoughts on live action adaptations, or at least the ones that haven't done. So I think they can. Overall, I think they can be done. I think they can be done well. But you gotta be able to, get the right. The people who can actually pull off the roles. You gotta have a budget that works. You gotta keep to the source material as far as the script goes. I know there's a really big things, but if you want these things to be if the people making these live action adaptations, if you want these adaptations to be successful, you have to stick to it. I realize Marvel is doing pretty good with their with the Avengers and Iron Man and the Hulk and Captain America and everything. They're doing great with that, and but they're forming a fucking story, with the movies, so they have a grandmaster plan. When it comes to these live action adaptations of anime and manga, there is no master plan, because there isn't, there's no connection order. But if you companies, Hollywood, want to make money, then you need to stick to what made the stuff popular in the first place, which is the source, the material that made it good. Death Note, Akira, even Evangelion, any fucking thing. If you're trying to make a U.S. live action adaptation of something that is popular elsewhere, then you need to stick to the material in order for it to still be popular at all. To be of any sort of success, you have to stick to what made it good in the first place. You can't whittle around with it just to make it work for the primary country that it's going to be showed in. That doesn't work. This is now an international. It's a global thing. You can't just make it to suit just your company. Not your company. Your country. The country. You got to make it. Suitable for anyone who's for anyone who's gonna sit there and watch it. And they maybe not know shit, about it. But if they go and watch it, then they get pretty much the right story and the right gist and understanding, and then maybe they'll check out the original material. But those are my thoughts on live action adaptation. I am Sotyfan16 Homequig. Like I say, you can subscribe, comment, whatever. On YouTube, you can comment, like say, also on my blog, where this will be on Anime Vice, and it's Sotyfan16 on there, Sotyfan16 on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at BILDO_88. So that's pretty much my time. But let's see, my next topic that I'll cover, since I'm obviously not keeping to a weekly schedule on this shit, the next topic I will cover is the state of the industry. And the reason I'm doing that is because of I wanted to cover it earlier in the year with all this stuff coming out of with Bandai and just all these, and how Funimation is suing Section 23 Sentai Filmworks for $8 million. And so all this news that came out towards the beginning of the year, I'll finally get to it. So ask me questions on what you guys think of, or what you think of or want to know of my thoughts on the things that are happening with the industry, and it could be anything. It could be about mergers, about closings, whatever's in the news. But just be specific, because I don't know every bit of news. So when you ask a question, be sure to, or even put a link. Put a link to what news you're talking about, and I'll check it out and form some thoughts. So it'll probably be a few weeks before I do that. So just like I say, put your questions out there, and I'll get back to you. At some point. So hey, Sotyfan16. Peace.